Hi guys, Korean movie recapped here. Before we start, warning. Spoilers ahead. Today, I'm going to recap a 2013 Korean action crime movie called Cold Eyes. This movie tells the story of a girl with photographic memory who joins the Korean Secret Service to capture some robbers. So, how will her outstanding memory help her and the team? Will they be able to catch them? Let's find out. In the subway, Yoon-ju is observing a man. Meanwhile outside, a mysterious man is seen playing Sudoku and gets on the subway. He walks through the aisle and passes Yoon-ju and the man. After getting off the train, Yoon-ju follows the man to a restaurant. Meanwhile, the mysterious man is in a parking lot, waiting for the sun to shine on the CCTV. Then, he breaks into a car and makes some adjustments there for unknown reasons. After that, he gets on the rooftop and looks around. It is revealed that he is Shadow, the leader of a robbery gang, and they are about to rob a bank. There, he taps into the radio line to know the police movement. Turns out, he has planted a bomb in a car before, and it explodes to distract the police. He signals his men to start the robbery and carefully plans their escape. With Shadow's orders, they can specifically rob a certain loot in 3 minutes, and without leaving a trace. However, one of the robbers gets greedy and endangers the whole team. Due to the tardiness, the police can identify their van and chase after them. As a backup, he orders a fat man to drive a truck which hits all of the police and frees the robbers. The fat man also manages to get away after the accident. Back to Yoon-ju, her cover is blown up and she is confronted by the man. He assesses her tailing skills and advises her. Turns out, the man is the Special Crimes Unit chief named Hwang, and Yoon-ju is looking to join the Secret Service. Hwang tests her and asks about the things that have happened when she was following him. With her photographic memory, she can point out everything that has happened with the exact time and place. However, she overlooks a detail and misses to answer the final question. Then, Hwang guides her to replay her memory once more and look from a different perspective. With his help, she is able to answer the last riddle and is hired into the service. In the office, Hwang is assigned to investigate the bank robbery. He checks the parking lot CCTV footage, but it bears no result as Shadow has waited to act when the sun shone on the CCTV. Meanwhile, Shadow and his team are also invisible from the other CCTVs. On the other hand, Shadow meets his gang to take the loot. Before leaving, he tortures his member who has endangered the plan and kills him. Then, he goes to a dark alley to hand the loot. He meets his master who also has tasked him with the robbery. Master reveals that the client is the bank's chairman who wants some of the bank's assets before stepping down. Meanwhile in the office, Hwang checks the CCTV again and decides to track down the fat guy. However, he has hidden his face and they need to do some adjustments. With their advanced AI, they can successfully identify the fat man who is nicknamed Hippo. Meanwhile, Yoon-ju arrives in her new office and Hwang introduces her to the rest of the team. She is assigned to the surveillance unit along with Sloth, Monkey, Mole, Viper, Parrot, Ostrich, and Squirrel. Hwang briefs them on the investigation and they readies themselves to arrest Hippo. The operation is coordinated by Hwang with the help of the rookie, Yoon-ju. Hwang assigns the team members to their own posts based on their role and skill set. All of them disguise themselves and are only tasked to surveil anonymously, and not to engage, as their disguises are their asset. However, they can't find Hippo even after working all day long. Meanwhile, Shadow is visiting a store named National Foods, which is also his hideout where he plans his heist carefully. Back to the team, they find a man with the same posture and walking style as Hippo, and plans to confirm his identity. Squirrel immediately gets on the task and walks towards him. However, the man is not who they are looking for. On the other hand, Shadow, who has planned his next heist, commences the plan. This time, they are robbing an archive to steal incriminating evidence of a company who has done malpractices, as per the company's order. Within minutes, the robbery is successfully carried out without any obstacle. However, Shadow realizes that a man is observing him from afar. He immediately visits the man and kills him swiftly, to make sure that the heist is carried out, without leaving any trace behind. On the other side, Hwang's boss is enraged to know that the same robbers have carried out 2 successful heists. After the heist, Master tasks Shadow with a new job. However, Shadow rejects it as he wants to quit the job and live peacefully. Surprisingly, the reply is unwelcomed by Master and he sends his man to kill him. When he is about to drive away, Master's man strangles him from behind. Luckily, he manages to save himself by crashing his car towards the wall, which results in throwing the killer, and he kills him. Then, he revisits Master and accepts the job reluctantly. Meanwhile, the unit is back in action. Yoonju analyzes yesterday's investigation pattern and finds a blind spot in their attempt. Hwang doesn't believe it at first, but accepts the idea after receiving the same conclusion from the headquarters. And so, they start to investigate again. This time, Yoonju is entrusted to investigate directly. Once more, Hwang sets out his team members and they scope through every spot and alley possible. With her extraordinary skills, she immediately finds a target which is suspected to be Hippo, with 90% probability. But their first face verification fails due to an incident. Finally, the man enters a store and Squirrel, who disguises himself as the cashier, confirms the man's identity 100%. Then, Yoonju follows Hippo to his apartment and confirms his room number. After pinpointing his location, Squirrel comes to plant some hidden CCTVs to keep an eye on Hippo's movements. Meanwhile, Shadow is in deep thinking, planning his next action. He carefully plays the scenario within his mind and times the action, to make sure everything is carried out perfectly as planned. This time, he is going to hack into the Korean Stock Exchange's server and plant a piece of software asked by the client. Meanwhile, Hwang and his boss visit the apartment where Shadow has killed a man from the previous heist. However, they can't find anything regarding Shadow's identity. Hwang notices the camera's tripod mark and realizes that Shadow has been watching his heist from the top of a building, to get an omniscient view. At night, Yoonju sees that a girl is bringing out Hippo's trash. She immediately grabs the bag and searches through the pile of trash. With Hwang's help, they are able to reassemble a Sudoku paper. Due to the mistakes in the answer, they are convinced that the paper is actually a hint regarding the next mission. They run through every possible combination from the numbers and realize that it is an IP address of the Korean Stock Exchange. In the meantime, Hippo is seen visiting an old building and the unit stalks him. They take photos of his partners in crime to identify them. With the AI's help, they can confirm all of the subjects. They also insert a mole to hear all of their plans. In addition, they hack into one of the phones which was connected to Shadow, and they know Shadow's location. After that, all of the members of the two opposing parties prepare themselves. Once more, Shadow taps into the radio line and realizes that they have been found out. He orders his men to abort the mission and they scatter. The boss realizes that they are going to abort the mission, so she orders the tactical team to engage and arrest them. With the headquarters' help, Hwang immediately goes to the rooftop to confront Shadow. Unfortunately, he manages to flee from the building. Hwang doesn't give up and requests Yoonju's help. Meanwhile, the police have manipulated the traffic and successfully herds the robbers to their trap. One by one, all of them are cornered and arrested. Out of the 6 robbers, 4 of them are arrested, and 2 of them die. On the other side, the headquarters who have hacked into Shadow's phone, call him to help Hwang and Yoonju in identifying him. Out of all the people on phone, a mysterious man with a brown bag is found out. Furthermore, Hwang has also seen the man near the stock exchange. They lock on the man and Hwang follows him. However, Hwang is compromised and Yoonju has to back him up. Yoonju tails him, but Shadow jaywalks to shake her off. Squirrel takes over and pretends to be a traffic officer to confront him. However, Shadow finds out and stabs Squirrel with his pen. Hwang and Yoonju immediately run to save him, but it is already too late. The mission is put on halt with Squirrel's death, even though Hwang and Yoonju have successfully identified Shadow. At night, Shadow is planning to kill Master, to tie up a loose end before retiring. Master is heavily guarded by his thugs, but Shadow is much more skilled than them. He confronts the men and slowly approaches Master through the alley. After some time, he reaches Master and immediately kills him. Meanwhile, the special unit is gravely hit after failing the mission and having one of their members die. In addition, they are officially pulled out from the mission due to the events. Until one day, Yoonju remembers Hwang's guidance and finds out that she has seen Shadow in the subway, holding a national foods menu. She immediately goes to the hideout and tails Shadow. She also notifies Huang and the headquarters, and the mission is officially back on track with the boss taking full responsibility. Yoonju tails him to a restaurant and Shadow is seen holding a fake passport to get off South Korea. Then, Shadow suspects Yoonju and confronts her. Yoonju keeps on evading the question until Huang arrives. His arrival makes Shadow run away, and Huang tails him alone. Unfortunately, Shadow takes him by surprise and hurts him. Shadow stabs him in the abdomen and overpowers him several times. Hearing that Yoonju is coming, Shadow leaves Huang and flees. Huang orders her to keep on tailing Shadow, to which she reluctantly obeys. She then follows a man but mistakes him for Shadow. Then, she cries as she has failed to capture Shadow once more. Suddenly, the rain stops and Shadow resurfaces from his hiding. She then follows him to a stairs leading to the underground abandoned platform. Despite the phone signal loss, Huang, who has been saved by the medic, is able to identify the position with Yoonju's hazy information. As she looks around, Shadow catches her by surprise and uses her as a hostage. The police arrive but cannot shoot due to the situation. He stands there as he waits for the train to come. Fortunately, Yoonju manages to stab him in the leg, resulting in Shadow fleeing as a cripple. Due to the wound, Shadow cannot run fast enough to outrun the police. He runs outside, but Huang has been waiting for him. He plans to use the incoming train as a diversion once more, but Huang is determined to shoot him despite the risk. Luckily, the train is successfully diverted and Huang lands some bullets on Shadow, which kills him. The headquarters is also relieved as they have officially closed the mission. In the end, the team assembles to pay their respects to Squirrel, who has given his life in the line of duty. Then, they get back into action, to arrest Shadow's acquaintance this time. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like and comment to help the channel out. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.